Hey there. Today's video is on Ornn, and quite simply, Ornn is unbalanceable. There's nothing that I think can be done to Ornn with the anchor to his kit being what it is that will keep him in a balanced state. I'm not saying he's overpowered. I'm saying he's absolutely garbage right now. But if they buffed his numbers, if they keep giving him quality of life buffs, which I think they're going to do, and I know they're going to do because it's what they always do, he's going to be unbalanced, no matter how they change him, if they keep him with this same core design. The design behind him is bad. Don't get me wrong, I was really excited when I heard about Ornn because there's new unique things to him, and it's new is exciting. When League of Legends is an ardent sensor tank meta, you really get excited about the smallest things. So an idea behind what Ornn was advertised as it is cool until you realize that it's something that can never be balanced. He's always going to fluctuate between being just an utterly useless pick. You see it on your team, you have to dodge or you're likely to lose. Or they're going to over buff his numbers to the point where his W is doing like a third of someone's health top lane and no one can lane against him. And there's no in between. We're talking about Ornn, a champion that can shop anywhere on the map. He's a champion that extends crowd control. But there are certain fundamental things about him that anchor him being a terrible champion right now. And if they remove those like gated power windows in terms of like how he plays, then he's just going to rubber band to being probably a pick ban for top lane and a pick ban for jungle. He'd just be too powerful. One of the things that rubber bands him, in my mind, where if they remove this, he's just going to become an extremely overpowered champion, is just how clunky his kit is. So one of the things they said very early on about Ornn is they did not want his pillar from his Q ability to appear immediately. Ornn's Q ability, you know, he throws out this like underground pillar and it does damage and slows, and then after a period of time, a pillar pops up out of the ground. And Ornn's E ability is kind of similar to Poppy in that if you hit a wall, it has an effect where it AoE knocks up champions around where you collide with the terrain. So it's a terrain ability. It does almost no damage. It scales in like the worst possible way, like bonus armor and magic resist. And it's only useful if they're standing near a wall or your own terrain or player created terrain. And it's really inconsistent because it's a slow ability as well. So you can't like Jarvan, you can EQ and immediately like, you know, create the standard, pull yourself to the standard, knock up champions in a line and do quite a bit of damage. It'll never be like that, according to them, because they don't want another champion that's identified so similarly to Jarvan. But unless they do that, he will always be this champion without like a true combo because he has no identity with like engaging besides the ultimate, which we'll get to that in a second. But there's no like basic combo where it's like, okay, my jungler's ganking for me, I need to go in. Except you can't create terrain until after a second and some change, and you can't use your E unless they're near a wall or a turret, and they just won't willingly do that if they even know what his E ability does. So you really don't have like a combo you can do for yourself or a combo you can do for your team. And even with the ultimate, which is very slow and predictable, everything about Ornn's kit is telegraphed. Like, you tell your opponents what you're about to do in advance. They're not going to stand near your Q. If a champion is designed around the idea that your opponents have to not be paying attention to where they're standing for you to be effective, that's a pretty dumb champion. That's boring to play, and it's boring to play against, and it's just dumb. So the design behind like how Ornn's abilities function, like how he can just go in and fight somebody, it basically comes down to just like how little awareness and how long the fight goes on, and it's just badly designed. But that's part of his gated power, is if you had a champion that worked like Jarvan in terms of his like EQ combo, if Ornn could just QE people, he would just be way stronger out immediately if they made that change. And of course, they can't really make that change because he can shop anywhere. He can extend crowd control with his brittle effect. If they buffed his damage numbers, then his W ability would just do a ton of damage because it does current health. I'm really surprised they didn't add max health, but I think they kind of understand that they put themselves in a trap with Ornn, because if they fundamentally change things about his kit or buff his damage numbers, we have a champion that really can't exist in League of Legends, being in League of Legends and breaking the game. So my problem with Ornn is I know you can never balance him. And it's dumb because he's just going to be in this perpetual state of either being underpowered into the point where Riot just keeps buffing him. They're like, all right, let's up his health numbers. Let's buff the damage numbers on his W. Let's make his mana cost lower. Let's buff his cooldowns. And then suddenly they're like, wait, what have we done? And then you're going to see Ornn in like every LCS game, and it's going to be just dumb because he's not even a fun champion to like play or to watch. Everything he does is so telegraphed. It's extremely hard to hit your ultimate on a good player. It's extremely hard to use any of his abilities effectively against good players. He's just fundamentally a really badly designed champion. I mean, the idea behind him is cool for reasons why he should never exist. It's like, oh, cool, you can shop anywhere on the map. Well, that should never exist. Cool, you can extend crowd control. Whoa, what is something in the game that's fundamentally, like, probably too powerful and what makes tanks incredibly broken in combination with being, like, really hard to kill is crowd control. I mean, I could have another video, which I was thinking about doing, just simply about why crowd control is a necessary evil in the game. It's incredibly powerful. It's on all the wrong champions. Like, tanks are just oversaturated with stuns and whatnot. So, going back to the topic at hand, Ornn is just fundamentally harder to use his crowd control on targets. He extends other crowd control, so he's like a team-dependent tank, except usually like top laners and junglers need to have initiation tools. So he doesn't really fulfill what a top laner should be. And if they buffed him in ways that they might buff him, just simply buffing the numbers, maybe making it so his E isn't so clunky where you start using it and it takes forever to go off, and it's basically crowd controlling yourself before you even use it. And if you miss it, you just screw yourself over completely. Everything about his kit feels awful right now. Like, everything feels slowed down and just very telegraphed, and nothing about it will be effective against good players unless they completely overtune him. So we have an Ornn problem, which is pretty fundamental to what a lot of champions you see, like Fiora, the reworked Fiora, and some of the tanks, where they have oversaturated kits, and they always perpetually will be in an underpowered or overpowered state. And it just fundamentally, like, what the champion is capable of doing is just fundamentally wrong for the game. And Ornn has that in multiple aspects. It just doesn't make sense for him to exist. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.